Hello again, third grade. All right, we are going to go. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that to you, but I'm just kind of doing it to myself. Okay, I've got to get my words in my mind ready to go. We are going to do health. So take out your health books so we can start on that. Page 89 is where we are. But I wanted to go over, did you try those brain stretchers that I gave you yesterday? Yeah, you better have thought them through and tried to come up with answers, because I told you I'll tell you the answers today, but I hate telling you the answers when I know you haven't really tried to think them through. So try to think those through. If you haven't looked at that video, go back and look at it and see if you can figure out these brain stretchers. So the first one says, and this was an easy one, a child is walking beside an adult out in the forest. The child is the adult's son. The adult is not the child's father. Who is the adult? Right, the adult is the child's mother. So that was kind of an easy one, because they're, an adult and a child are walking. The child is the adult's son. So if it's not the father, then it has to be the adult. The adult has to be the mother. Okay. Then Mr. and Mrs. Gorton have 7 sons. Each son has 1 sister. How many people are there in the Gorton family? Some of you are probably like, 14. No. Oh, 16, right? No, it's gotta be. How many of you said 10? If you said 10, you are correct. Elbow bump. Make sure we're not ashy. Okay. So elbow bump. So because you have to think, Mr. and Mrs. Gorton, and then they have 7 sons. Okay. So that's going to be 9. And each son has, Mr. and Mrs. Gorton have 7. Oh yeah. 7 sons. Sorry. I'm thinking another number. 7 sons, which will be 9. And then each son has 1 sister. All the boys have 1 sister. That's it. There's only 1 girl, 7 boys, 2 parents. That's 10 altogether. Did you get that one? Yeah. See, you might have been thinking, oh, each brother has a sister to go along with them. No. All the sons have 1 sister, and that makes 10. Then, how can you throw a tennis ball as hard as you can, make it stop, and come right back to you? It can't hit a wall or touch anything else, and it cannot have anything attached to it, no strings or anything like that. How can you do that? Did you figure it out? That it's, no, I'm not going to do that, because then she's going to get excited if I took one of Lady's balls. You throw it up. You throw it up in the air. What happens? It eventually stops, and then what does it do? It comes back down, and you can catch it. So you just throw it straight up into the air. How many of you got that? Were you thinking those brain stretchers through? They're so good for your brain, and it's kind of fun to think through some of those things. So I hope that you did try, and I hope that you even got some of them correct, more than just that first one. The first one was a little easier. Next 2 were a little bit more challenging, so I hope you tried to do those. Well, we are on page 89 today, and we are going to be talking about loving others. Look at the top of the page. Courtesy means being polite and loving to others. And then charity is love. Charity, the word charity means love. Loving others. Loving others shows that you are growing socially. So we were growing mentally by exercising our brain, exercising our mind. We've obviously been growing physically and taking care of our bodies. But when we show love to others, it's growing socially. When you care about someone, it shows in what you say and how you act. Are you courteous to others? Courtesy is being polite and loving to others every day. It should be a part of who you are. And look at what John 15:12 says. Love one another as I have loved you. Do you recognize that verse? You might not recognize that verse, but do you recognize that chapter? Because John 15:13 and 14, the verses that come right after that, where Jesus says, love one another as I have loved you. And then 13 says, Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Ye are my friends if you do whatsoever I command you. So that is part of that chapter. And it's saying, love one another, because that's how I've loved you. And that's an important thing. Showing love to your family. Do you show love for others by the things you do and the things you say? Or do you think about yourself first? Oh my goodness. This is just going right along with Bible, because what did we talk about yesterday with Bible? What's our new verse? Philippians 2:4. Look not every man on his own things, woe is me, but every man also on the things of others. Do we only think about ourselves first? Here are some good verses to memorize. First, charity suffereth long, and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up, doth not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil. And that's from 1 Corinthians 13:4 and 5. The word charity means love. So read those verses again. And each time you come to the word charity, say the word love instead. Who can you show love to today? So instead of charity, love suffereth long and is kind. Love envieth not. Love vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up, thinking only of itself. Doth not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil. Love doesn't seek evil. Love doesn't puff itself up, doesn't think only of themselves. Love suffers long, is kind. Are you somebody that's showing love? Wouldn't it be sad if you were courteous to others, but not even to your own family? Your parents and your brothers and sisters should be treated with courtesy too. They are the people who love you the most, and they are to be the ones that you love the most back. So you ought to show courtesy to them. Make sure that you are doing that. If you are truly courteous, you will show kindness to those who are closest to you, Within a family, it is important to say, I love you. It's important. It's not gross and ill. No, you need to do that while you can, because time goes too quickly and those words aren't spoken enough. Say them as much as you can. You will never regret that. You will always be thankful that you told everybody in your life that you love them. You show your love through your actions. You will cheerfully do or say whatever you can to make your home a pleasant place to live. How do you treat your brothers and sisters? How do you treat them? Are you patient and loving? It says love suffers long, which means patient, and is kind. Only when they're nice to me? No. Any time. That's important. And think about that. Guess what? Do you think you're always the easiest to get along with and live with? And your parents are loving and patient and kind with you, and guess even more so who is? God is. So remember that next time you want to get annoyed with your little sister or your little brother or your older sister or your older brother. Remember, love suffereth long. Love is kind. Love deals and shows that kindness and love and courteousness, that courtesy for other people. That's important. When you are asked to help with the dishes, watch the baby, or clean your room, do you complain? If you obey promptly with cheerfulness, you are showing your mother and father that you love them. If you obey but you grumble and complain, you're not showing love. You are being selfish. All you're thinking of is yourself. And I just wish I didn't have to do this. And why do I always have to? And it's not fair. And why doesn't sister have to? No, don't be like that. Show loving kindness. The new things you learn provide work for your mind, but you also need to work for your body. You also need work for your body to do. Regular work that you can do helps you physically, but it is important for your mental health too. It gives you the good feeling that comes from having accomplished something. It also helps develop your character. Anna helps her mom by doing the dishes every Tuesday. Do you have any responsibilities that you do every day at home? If not, you should. And you need to ask your parents, Mom, Dad, what can I do to help around the house? Maybe it will be just something once a week. Maybe it could be something every day. But find out what you can do to help. These responsibilities give you a chance to help your father and mother, and they show that you love them. Sometimes you will have responsibilities at school too. Whenever you have a regular responsibility, you should do it without anyone reminding you or getting it started for you. So we're not in school right now. You're home. And so you know the rules and the things that Miss Monroe has taught you all year long. Should I have to keep reminding you of those? I shouldn't. And your parents shouldn't either, because you know what to do to make it the easiest and the best that you can do. You know the rules. So there's no excuses to go, well, I forgot and I didn't. You should do things. If you're thinking of being courteous to other people, then you should think of those things without somebody reminding you or getting started for you. When you are working, be sure to use your time wisely. How do you use your time? Do you waste it because you're dawdling away and you're looking everywhere else and you're doing everything else when you really should be focused on the work that you have right before you to do? It is so important that we not waste time. Get your work done. Stay focused on the job that you have been given. Third grade, it is important, and especially now that you're home. You don't have Miss Monroe going, okay, this is the time. You only have this time, and then we're done. Okay, and you think, oh, I'm home so I can gag and just kind of no. Keep that sense of structure, because eventually we're going to be back in a sense of structure, in a place of structure, and you're going to want to be ready for that. So keep yourself focused and doing your stuff just like you would if I were right there. Okay, think about it. Help out. List chores that you do to help at home. If you don't do any, you should. So write ones that you would like to start helping your parents with. Okay, so write those chores down. When you start a job, do you always finish it? You will have a feeling of accomplishment when your work is completed. Even if the work is hard, you should keep on trying until you are finished. Whenever you are given a new responsibility, watch carefully when you are shown what to do, or listen carefully if you are told what to do. This will help you to do your work right without having to try it again. That's why we have rules to follow, and we say follow them carefully. That way you won't have to do it again or get to a point where the rules have now increased and there's something new and there's something added and you never did the beginning, so you don't know how to do the ending. You should always do your best in any responsibility that is given you. And it's such an important thing to learn, to know, to do. And I'm going to come back with a video that's going to teach you something that I do want you to remember. And we'll talk about it in the next video. So I'll show you something that I want you to remember. This is one way that you can help your family at home. Okay. And I'll probably even add in the other pages. I'm going to go ahead and do 93 to 95 in the next video so that we can get all of that in as well. So I'll be back with another video in just a second. Woo!